What's up, everybody? This is Gario Graham. I am the founder of Kingston Made Production. We are here in Kingston as we speak. Finally recovered from our 4-day event at Grand Slam Track, where you see obviously Jamaican athletes compete against a bunch of international athletes, and you know, this is supposed to be something groundbreaking, something that's never been done before. So kudos to Grand Slam Track, Michael Johnson, a great job putting this together, bringing his ideas to life. That's not easy to do, people. That's very hard. So commend to him for doing that. That's something that we should all be proud of. Someone stepping into the track space and aim to do something revolutionary that could potentially change the sport forever. And with that being said, I am completely honored and humbled to have received an invite to Grand Slam Track and to be able to cover it. And here I am giving my recap, my thoughts on what I saw. I'm sure by now you've probably heard about the turnouts, you've probably heard about the results, the competition, all the excitement, and everyone else's feelings about Grand Slam Track. However, today my conversation is strictly about production, right? Production is what I'm passionate about. Production is what I do. So I will be able to go over it. It's basically from top to bottom, what I saw that I like, what I saw that I did not like, and what I love, right? So what I like, did not like, and what I love. Those three things. And overall, give it a grade, you know. So I'm not going to let you wait for it too long. My grade overall is a 9 out of 10. That's how much I love Grand Slam Track this past week. Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. I had to bring it down a little bit, which I'll get into shortly. But overall, I truly enjoyed my 4 days at Grand Slam Track. Thursday being the media day, Friday being the first day of competition, followed by Saturday and Sunday, the second and the third day of competition. So as I mentioned, the turnout wasn't as expected, but overall, that did not take away from the hype that was actually at the stadium. The crowd that was there was actually very energetic. The fans were engaging. The fans were enjoying themselves at the stadium and outside of the stadium, which I'll get into. So overall, as I mentioned, it's an 8.5 for me. Media day was amazing. Media day took place at the AC Hotel Marriott in New Kingston. We had the athletes showing up from Sydney to Gabby to Fred to Kenny Bednarik, Roshan Clark, Akira Nugent, Rochelle Clayton. You know, all the top stars were there for media day. It was a great experience. Athletes are asking very good questions, so shout out to all the media members who were there that were giving these athletes a warm welcome and making them feel like the superstars that they are. And from an organization standpoint, it was well organized. You know, it was very clean process. It wasn't very awkward. People were there taking photos, mingling. It was very sociable. It was very loud. It wasn't quiet. It wasn't dead. Which some of these things can be like that, right? I've been to so many media days where it's quiet, it is dead. People are not really excited to be there, but this was a complete opposite. So the production for that, I give that a solid 9 out of 10. The reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is mainly because we only heard from a handful of athletes. You know, I was kind of hoping to hear from a little bit more, but that's totally fine, right? You can't interview everybody, which I totally get, but I was looking forward to hearing from, like, Akeem Blake. I was looking forward to hearing from Akira Nugent. However, I did get Oblique Seville. I did get Rochelle Clayton, so I'm happy about that. No need to be too sad. All right, day 1 of competition. Here you go, right? And I must mention, picking up credentials was a very smooth process as well, which I picked up so many credentials throughout my career. This was one of the smoothest process. No issues going into the stadium. The stadium was well prepared from the track. I'm sure you guys have all seen the new resurfaced track, the green, gold, and black track. Looks beautiful walking in for the first time. You know, that was my first time seeing it since it has been refurbished. I lied. I was actually at Boys and Girls Champs the week prior, so that was my second time seeing it. Track looked beautiful. The VIP areas at the actual stadium were set up nicely. They had different, like, square cubicles, I would say, with couches, nice cushioned couches with tabletops and drinks being served to the VIPs. The grandstands, a decent amount of people were in the grandstands. It was very loud. Cameras everywhere. From a production standpoint, I absolutely love what they did with the cycle track. If you're not familiar with the Jamaican National Stadium, we have like this gray pavement around the football field and the track. So you might see it in some of the videos. That is called the cycle track. I love what Grand Slam did with it. Obviously, you'll see some branding along the cycle track, but you will also see on the grandstand side, you'll see where they have like the VIP areas. So they utilize that for hospitality, which was great. The VIPs are able to get drinks and mingle amongst themselves from each pod. So like, I believe there were 4 or 5 pods where the VIPs are able to sit alongside that grandstand. So on the cycle track, which I think was very good, very creative way of doing that. White couches, white furnitures to really bring out that premium look of what Grand Slam is. And then the media tents, right? The media areas off to the side, just about 50 to 60 meters away from the finish line. You'll see where the cameras were set up, where they're shooting this. The media tent where the media was obviously grabbing the athletes as they get off the track to conduct their interviews, walk through the mix zone. The mix zone was very clean, very respectful. Everyone in there, once again, shout out to the media members. They did a great job facilitating that, making sure the athletes feel respected and asking them questions that they really want to be engaged in. So that's another positive for me. And then right after the mix zone was a lounge area for the media members, for the athletes to sit down with the media members and conduct a little bit more relaxed and funny, comical, outgoing interview, right? That setting was a little bit more intimate. That setting was a little bit more intimate than normal, than your typical mix zone walkthrough. So I really enjoy what they did with that as well. So the media side, the media capturing side, another great grade. I respect what Grand Slam did there. As far as the stadium itself, right, the overall stadium, I love what they did. They hung a few Grand Slam track banners amongst the very large stadium lights around the stadium. I think that was a great way to like fill up some space. It looked amazing in my shots. It looked amazing in a lot of shots that I saw on social media and on television as well, which I'll get to in a minute. So yeah, I think Grand Slam did a great job utilizing what they had at National Stadium. And if you know, National Stadium is a very old stadium, which I believe there will be some renovation coming soon, but they made it look very pretty. As far as television, that's one of the reasons why I waited a few days to give this recap, because I ended up watching a lot of the meets back on stream and on television just to see how it looked, and it looked amazing, you know. And I could tell because in person they had cameras from all angles. They had several drones. They had sideline cameras. They had cameras in the bleachers, stands, all directions. So they went above and beyond to make sure that this was shot well, that they will continue to give the audience at home just as much of a great experience as the audience in the stadium. So overall, I give the Grand Slam track an overall grade of 8.5, just to have a little bit more room to work with, to improve on for the next stop, which will be in Miami. And I will most likely be there. Looking forward to covering that as well, and for that excitement, and of course we don't know our Jamaican athletes, but overall great job Grand Slam from a production standpoint. Looking forward to the other 3 races, and I hope Grand Slam is here to stay, and I will continue to give these recaps as far as events and productions that I've been working on and I've been a part of. So here with Grand Slam, obviously I was an invited guest. I was a member of the press team. So I'm just giving a recap of my personal experience. Not that I was working with Grand Slam, just to make that clear, but I will also give recaps of stuff that I've worked on. So look out for that as well. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you being a subscriber. If you're not, like the video, subscribe, and please share. Thank you all.